лучше убейте меня. Но я не буду обманывать, я должен честно сказать, Россия стоит на грани катастрофы. Если сегодня не отрегулировать эти винтики, то самолет рассыпется в воздухе.
So I thought it'd be fun to sit down and take a look at some recent news that's just happened here. We've got Yevgeny Prigozhin just recently may have been killed in a plane crash. We don't know exactly the details. All right, so let's start off with this one here. We've got a CBC video just sort of breaking down the news for us. Let's check it out.
Of course, Yevgeny Prigozhin became a central figure because of the war in Ukraine, but he was still largely, I think, a fairly marginal figure within Russia until that mutiny. And that suddenly gave a lot of groups in Russia maybe a big motive for revenge. Prigozhin obviously embarrassed Vladimir Putin. He made him seem weak, first of all, for not being able to stop Prigozhin and his mutineers from taking over cities like Rostov and marching on Moscow. And then he made Putin seem weak again when he had to cut a deal with Prigozhin where he wouldn't be punished and could continue to lead Wagner.
So this all happened like a month ago. We had the rumors that the Wagner group was effectively going to defect from the Russian army. It was a coup. And it ultimately kind of flustered out. But I think that for many of us that don't follow geopolitics that closely, it was the first time we'd ever heard of the Wagner group.
Okay, so let's pull at this a bit. If Putin did order this assassination, I mean, is it a coincidence that it's exactly 2 months to the day since that failed coup on Moscow? I mean, does he believe in symbolism that much? Why wait 2 months to do this?
What's the significance here? Why are we asking about 2 months? Is there like some sort of law in Russia that if Putin's going to assassinate somebody, he has to wait exactly 2 months? Am I missing something here?
Responsible for war crimes and atrocities, including castrating Ukrainian prisoners. So I think there will be glee there that he's gone.
Castrating. Wow. I shouldn't be laughing at that. That's yikes. Here I'm sitting in my suburban home in Ontario, Canada, complaining that this Quiznos sandwich I ordered today from Ghost Kitchens doesn't taste like real Quiznos, and then you hear what the people in Ukraine are having to deal with. Let's see what old Pistol Pete has for us.
His death is not a low probability outcome, considering his life choices and the people he surrounded himself with. But I think it's worth doing a little bit of reflecting because the cast of characters who may have wanted him dead and had the ability to kill him is, lengthy.
That's a good point. He's if his army's going around castrating prisoners in Ukraine, imagine the list of people who wanted to kill this guy. I think it's clearly Putin, but if you want to go there, there's probably a pretty lengthy list of people who wanted this guy dead.
And of course, this all assumes that the dude is actually dead.
To close the terms and conditions on some deals, it might require a dead body, is what Peter Zeihan is suggesting.
It's too important of a role for the Russian state, especially now for the Kremlin, to just be empty. Someone will step forward. The question is whether that someone is a friend of Putin or not. And that could be all kinds of fun.
So we can always look to Peter Zeihan for some interesting takes. And what he's suggesting is that the most interesting thing that we should be watching out for right now is who's going to ultimately take over the Wagner group or the Wagner group, whatever you want to call them. Are they going to be pro-Putin or are they going to be anti-Putin?
U.S. President Joe Biden was briefed on the crash and made these comments to reporters earlier in California today before Russian officials confirmed Prigozhin was on board that plane.
I don't know for a fact what happened, but I'm not surprised.
First off, Biden looks like he's in one of those walking groups where he gets together with a bunch of other senior age citizens and they all have sort of matching clothes in Florida in February, and they go for a nice little hike over to the local Dunkin' Donuts.
Do you believe?
There's not much that happens when Russia is not behind, but I don't know enough to know the answer.
I think that Biden's done actually a pretty good job of handling Russia. They broadcasted everything Russia was going to do before Russia did it. Somehow the U.S. has really good intelligence on the inside. They've managed to play this thing in a way where they're supporting Ukraine while not fully really getting involved. And they're just slowly letting Russia implode. Let's keep going here. Let's see what else YouTube's got for us here.
If I were Mr. Prigozhin, I would remain very concerned. NATO has an open door policy. Russia has an open windows policy. And he needs to be very focused on that.
That was Anthony Blinken on July 21st. That's interesting. So here we have a clip of Anthony Blinken calling out the potential Yevgeny Prigozhin being thrown out a window back on July 21st. On the 23rd, his plane may have been blown up. Here we have a video of what Putin said on betrayal amid the Prigozhin death reports.
Уметь прощать? Да. Но не все. А что невозможно простить? Предательство.
Putin says that betrayal can't be forgiven. So these are old videos that went viral amid Prigozhin's death. He looks so much like that guy from Breaking Bad. He was like a hitman.
Prigozhin's plane definitely crashed. We know this because flight tracking software shows it going.
Got it. So we know that the plane definitely crashed.
Witnesses recorded a plane crashing to the ground.
There's the plane
and there's
crashing.
footage of the wreckage, which shows a partial registration number on the plane, which matches the one registered to Prigozhin's company. And all 10 people aboard that are apparently dead. The only way we'd know for sure is if we could see
all 10, but we've also heard that they've only recovered 8 bodies.
An audio statement released. Not sure where he was.
This guy sounds like he should be doing work for EA Sports.
Says that 2 factors.
He says Prigozhin at the 5-yard line.
Russia's government say they are not tracking Prigozhin's movements. The footage seems to show that Prigozhin lived a life of luxury. Fake passports, disguises, and a stuffed alligator were also found in the raid, according to Russian state media.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, you can all tell it's him, and they just look like ridiculous outfits. Let's go back and see that. Oh. Look, those are the outfits. What's inside Prigozhin's house? Kremlin leaks video of Wagner chief's St. Petersburg mansions. That's his mansion? He's got a computer lab in his mansion. Oh, geez. So he had a sledgehammer for negotiations he had a sledgehammer for use in important negotiations. Ugh. Oh, they took his money. Oh, they gave it back to him. Okay, so to recap what's happening here, we got Yevgeny Prigozhin, who formed a mutiny back in June, and then recently there was a flight. His name was on the list, but we also know that Prigozhin also puts his name on multiple lists, flight lists that is, before he boards a flight, so we don't even know if he was on the flight. We know that he had a heck of a house where he had $100 million US, not to mention an extensive wig collection, a bunch of pictures of him with the wigs on. He had severed heads of his enemies. So guys, this story's obviously developing and we don't know what direction it's going to go in. Is he alive? Is he dead? Quite frankly, I have no clue after sitting down and watching what I just watched. I know this, that I definitely hope that we get more photos of Prigozhin in a wig. I definitely would sign up for that. So if a bald man with a funny wig shows up walking in your neighborhood, you may have just had a Prigozhin sighting. Think about that. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. So guys, we just recently launched this channel and we noticed that 99.9% of our viewers are not subscribed. So if you enjoyed this video, we need your help in growing this channel. By subscribing, that would help us keep the lights on and make sure that our crews have jobs in these uncertain times. So please hit that subscribe button and we promise to make more quality videos that I'm sure you're going to love.